Hey y'all, I thought I'd come to you in the middle of a thunderstorm warning and bring you some authentic rain sounds yet again and talk to you just a minute about something you may or may not have noticed. You probably did if you watched the video where I chronographed a few 41 Magnum loads and was shooting my 4 5/8 Blackhawk. Let me double check that I got them all. Yep. 4 5/8 41 Magnum Blackhawk. I had the base pin jump on me. You know, thinking about things. You know, this is a common. It's a common consideration and common knowledge among those who deal in transfer bar guns like the Ruger a whole lot. But it may not be so much if you're not familiar with it, and you maybe you have one, maybe you don't. Maybe you're going to pick one up that has a transfer bar. Give you a little heads up. If you ever go to cock the hammer and it don't want to cock, it's like it's binding up or something. First thing to check is see if your base pin has jumped. What I mean by jump, if your base pin latch has allowed the base pin to jump and move outward. If that happens, your transfer bar has no spring tension on it, holding it back away from the firing pin. It'll go up under the firing pin, you know, and bind up right there, and that's all you get. Unless you get, you know, hold it up and get it just right, so forth, so on. But yeah, 9 times out of 10 when that happens, you'll find it in some state of like that. And that one actually moved that time. Now it's binding up. Base pin's forward, transfer bar binding on the firing pin. So push it back, make sure it's in there good, and it'll go back to working. Well, if you have that issue more than a time or two, there are various ways to fix it. Probably about the easiest way is to change the spring in that base pin latch right there to an extra power. Or you may just have a weak factory spring that a factory replacement spring can fix. But y'all, I was rummaging through a drawer in the kitchen. I don't know if I've been in that drawer in that kitchen for a long time, maybe years. Funny like, yeah. And I was looking for something else, and I moved something. Well, there lays an unopened Wolf extra power spring. The ink on the packaging, on the little cardboard piece they put on top of the plastic package, it had been there so long that you could barely read it because it was faded. And I don't remember putting any gun parts in that drawer. But anyway, it was for a Colt single action Army or a U-Birdie. And I thought, well, that doesn't say Ruger, but I looked at it and I thought, that's awful close to the right diameter. It might be a little long. So, heck, try it anyway. With great difficulty, because you have on one side or the other, bring my reading glasses. On that side, you've got one of them funky, can't see it, can you? Security type screws, which is basically a flathead with a spot cut out of the middle of it. The other side's a flathead. You take that apart very carefully, not losing nothing. And I was able to just take one side off. And the spring, took the old spring out of it, and I put that Wolf extra power for the U-Birdie and the Colt single action Army, put it on there, screwed it all back down tight. Well, hell, it's working. You know, it's got enough travel. Put it on there, tighten it down. Oh, Lord, that thing's a lot tighter. You know, it's not hindered at all and working. It's a good bit tighter. So that didn't say Ruger. Don't matter. It works. So, a couple of things there. There you go. That's one thing to look for if you got this binding issue. You go to cock a transfer bar gun. And if you happen to have a extra fire base pin screw, a base pin retainer spring, base pin latch spring. Boy, I wish I could speak English today. Laying around for the U-Birdie or single action Army. It worked on this Ruger just fine. You gotta have something to do while watching the tracking for the Gary Reader Classic 475 BFR gone back to frickin' Arizona again. It wasn't 100% right, but that's another issue, another story. Just highlight is Gary called me himself. He's finally back in the shop. Offered me satisfaction multiple different ways, and offered to take personal charge of the gun and fix it himself no matter what it took. Otherwise, he would refund my money if I wasn't happy with it. He acted like a true gentleman about it, and I figured the right thing to do is let the man have a chance coming back from a bad long illness, back in the shop fresh. Let the man have a chance to stand behind his name, since his name's on my gun. I will update y'all when I know more. Now, go straighten your Ruger out. Talk to you later.